Hi guys, welcome to this presentation on Java and Java related technologies. In this demo presentation, we are going to cover the following topics. I'm just going to highlight, if you can see here, as mentioned in the course topics. First one is core Java, followed by JSP servlets, which is sometimes also referred to as advanced Java. Then we are also going to cover frameworks like Spring and Hibernate. Spring Hibernate we are going to be based on MVC architecture. So we will be discussing about MVC architecture also. After this training, what is the basic aim of training is to prepare you for interviews and get the job in the company. Yeah, so we are going to arrange a mock interview session for you after this training is over, and also a live project. Now, why we are going to arrange a live project? Obviously, the intention is to give you hands-on practice, hands-on experience. So whenever you go for a company interview, you have a lot of confidence and you make impression in the interview. Also, the interviewer would expect answers which are at the corporate level, which are at the professional level, which is not available in books or even in tutorials or videos on YouTube. So it's better for you to have hands-on live project. So the topics: core Java, JSP servlet, Spring Hibernate, and live project. All right. Now let's start with core Java. See, guys, you have to understand, since it's a demo presentation, we cannot cover all the topics in details in this session. Obviously, those topics will be covered in details and in its entirety when we actually start the training course. So I'll cover a few topics in details, but not all the topics, just to give you a feel like how the training is going to be. So we'll start with core Java. If you are aware, guys, core Java is developed in some tools or some IDEs, Eclipse, IntelliJ, and there are many other. Edit Plus is sometimes also used, but the most popular tool used in industry or in companies is Eclipse. So I'll just open Eclipse. It's already open. Yeah, here you can see on the screen, this is a view of Eclipse IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. That means in one screen you can get to see your program. If you can see here, I'm just going to highlight this. This is your program code. On the left hand panel you can see the file structure, the name of the files, the folders, and at the bottom, if you can see here, this is the console. In this window you will get to view the output of your program. So that effectively means is the meaning of IDE, all in one screen. You have the program, you have the output, you have the folder or the program structure. Eclipse is very popular, not only for Java development, even for mobile apps development. And if you guys are aware of something called a SAP, even they are making use of Eclipse tool. So there are multiple purpose use of Eclipse. We'll start with core Java, as I said. Now, to write Java code, first of all we have to create a project, a Java project in Eclipse. So I'll just explain to you how it is done. It is very simple. Just right click on this package explorer window. You can even go to a file option and go to a new sub option. So I'll just right click. I prefer to right click here and say new Java project. There is option Java project. If you can browse a little bit below, you can see a lot of options are there. Okay, as of now we are going to start with a Java project. So I just create a Java project, and here a window is displayed and it is asking for the project name and other details. So I'll give the project name as, say, demo. So this is a demo class, I'll give the name as demo. Now if you see here, there are various parameters which are already configured. These parameters basically refer to the folder location where your project is going to be stored. You can change the folder location. For myself, I have given this as F-Java Workspace Demo. If you want, you can change it. There is a browse option here. Wherever you want to store it, you can store it. But for now, I'm going to use this location. If you come a little bit below, you can see this option JRE. JRE meaning the Java executable files which are going to be used to create the Java application and run the Java application. Now here by default it is set to Java AC 1.8, which is the default version which is installed on my laptop. Whatever version you have on your machine, that will be automatically picked up by Eclipse. Alright, if you want to change the version, there is an option here, configure GREs. You can just click on this configure GREs, and you can click on the add button and select wherever your program or your Java software is installed on your machine. Alright, so I'll just do a next here. We need to just do a next step. We are going to create a project by the name project name demo. The Java environment is set, the location is set. This is a one-time activity. You need not keep on browsing all these parameters all the time. Just have to mention the project name. Alright, so I'll just do a next here. Alright, now it is showing us that a demo project would be created, and under demo project an src folder or source code folder would be created by default. There are other options here. You need not bother about these options at this point of time. Just do a next or a finish here. Alright, now if you observe on the left hand side here, the highlighted folder demo. So this is our Java project. I'll just expand this demo project. You have two subfolders, src and JRE system library. JRE system library is all the Java executables, which is basically a Java which you have downloaded from internet and installed on your machine. Alright, how to install Java, how to download, I will explain to you in detail step by step when we start actual training. Okay, now src is the folder where we actually keep our source code. Now I've already created another project for this class, which is by the name demo class. Okay, it has the same folder structure. However, in this src folder I have created another subfolder test, and under which I have created one class by the name employee.java. I'll just show you how it is done. Source folder, src folder, will contain all the code of Java classes. Now when you want to create a Java class, what you do is you just right click on src folder. Okay, you'll get a lot of options. Go to new. Once again you'll get a lot of sub options. Now we are supposed to create a class, but remember Java specifies that if you want to create a class, don't store it directly in src folder, create a package for that. Okay, and so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a package, and I'll store a class, say by the name company. Okay, okay, this is the package name. By default package name should start with a small letter, so I'm going to create a package by the name of company. And if you observe here, the package is created, and in this I'll store a class, or I'll create a class. Now this time I'll say new class. We'll say company info. So this is just a test class. I want to show you how it is created, and there are different options here. You have modifiers like public, package. All this we will explain, or we will learn in details when we start training. Okay, and you have some ready-made methods which can be created by Eclipse. So I'll just click on main method. So if you see here, company info class is created under company package, and this is the code window for company info class. So this is the place where you can actually start writing code. Say for example you want to print something, you just do a sysout and control paste, and you can print, say hi. So this is a class that is created. And how to run this, there are run options on the top here, run company info. Just click on that and you'll get to see the output here at the bottom. Hi. So this is a very straightforward and a very simple test class. What we are doing here is we are creating a Java project first of all by doing a right click, new Java project, and after that we have created this demo class project under which src was by default created by Eclipse, and within src we have created two packages here, company and test. Test was already created, it was existing before, and in front of you I have created this company package. Alright, and within company package just right click and create a new class, and that's how your class company info got created. Now there is one more package here, test package, under which this employee.java class is already created. So I'll just double click on this so you get to see the code. Alright, so this is the code of employee.java. Just have a look at this code for a moment. It says it's public class employee, and this class employee has one variable by the name company name. Okay, it signifies that which company the employee belongs to. So here I have given the value as TCS. TCS is the company where I was working. This was my first company. I'll give the background details also at the end of this session. Okay, so we have company name TCS as a variable, as a string variable for this class employee. Now just notice that I have mentioned this static. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you in details the concept of static keyword. Alright, so for now you just have a look at the code. You have a variable string company name, and which is qualified as a static variable. What is static, why it is used, where it is used, that will be understanding in a short time from now. Alright, so now we have the static variable and also a main method here. Now if you see these 3 lines of code inside main method, what it shows is that we are actually creating 3 different objects of class employee. How do we create an object of a class? You mention class name, object name, and specify with a new keyword and the constructor. Now we'll learn in details what a constructor means, what is a new keyword, but for now you understand that an object is created in using this syntax. Now if you see, I have given name of the object as Deepak. What is the name of the class? Employee. So obviously any real employee will be having some specific name. In this case it is Deepak. And similarly I have created another object of class employee, Dilip and Rajesh. So now you have Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh as 3 objects of class employee. In real life these 3 are actual employees of the company TCS. So this is how we are going to represent the real life scenario. Guys, always remember, whatever code you are writing, that code has to resemble the real life scenarios. I mean, first of all, why are you going to write the code? For whom you are going to write the code? It is going to be for some business, for some company, for some school. That's what you are going to represent in your code, and hence the naming convention should also resemble some real life characters. Here in this case it is Deepak, Dilip, Rajesh, who are employees of a TCS class, who are employees of the TCS company, and this is represented in Java by class employee and 3 objects, Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh. This is the same pattern we are going to follow for all the training sessions. That is, whether it is core Java, it is JSP, Solid Spring, Hibernate, whatever coding we are going to do is going to resemble some life character, real life character. We are not going to say object 1, object 2, object 3. That doesn't make sense. Guys, you are going to join this training because you want to become ready for company interviews. Okay, and the interviewers in the company are not freshers. They are going to be experienced people. Their expectations of the level of answers, is supposed to be at the real life scenarios. Okay, that's what is going to differentiate you and other candidates who are going to appear for the interview. Alright, I have taken a lot of interviews, and I can judge easily who is a fresher, who is an experienced person based on the kind of answers that person is going to give. So always try to use real life characters as names, as scenarios, and then you will be on the right track. Alright, so now what we are doing right now is trying to understand what is static keyword and why it is used. Alright, so it is clear that class employee has a variable company name which is set as TCS, and 3 objects are there. Now if you look at this 3 lines of code which is at the bottom, it says system.out.println Deepak.company name. Now Deepak is an object of class employee, so Deepak.company name is what we are printing here, and followed by Dilip.company name, followed by Rajesh.company name. Essentially what we are doing here is we are trying to output the values of company name of Deepak object, company name of Dilip object, company name of Rajesh object. Now why we are trying to do is we are trying to understand what is the use of static. As I said, that Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh are actual employees of the company TCS. Okay, so that means all these three objects, that is Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh, should have company name as TCS because they belong to TCS. They do not, it's not that Deepak is working for TCS, Dilip is working for Wipro, Rajesh is working for Infosys. It is not that way. All three are employees of TCS. So how do you represent this scenario? That is, all three employees are belonging to TCS company. You represent it by using the static keyword. That is, you first of all create company name, set the value TCS, and then mention or qualify this variable company name as static. What static means? I'll just show you a diagrammatic presentation of this. Here it is. If you read the first sentence, static stands for common data or methods of all the objects of a particular class. Static stands for common data. In this code, what is common data? Common data of the objects Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh. The common data is company name, that is they are working for company TCS. So that is the common data, and hence we qualified as static. That's what is mentioned here. Static stands for common data. It is very well explained in the diagram below. Class employee is shown in a rectangle and the variable company name as static is qualified here. This is a block diagram, and hence we are not writing the code syntax. We are just highlighting what the code is there in the class. Okay, so this is the class employee rectangle, and below are the three objects: object 1, object 2, object 3. These objects are of object class employee. Alright, their names are classified by the name Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh. That is, Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh are objects of class employee. It is indicated by this arrow. Alright, so class employee and three objects. And what is the value of company name? TCS. It is also qualified as static. At the bottom, if you see, company name of all the three objects is printed by using system.out.println, and this will be the output TCS, 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 because TCS is set as the company name and static is the qualifier. So what does static means? It stands for common data. Alright, all employees Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh has the same company name, that is the common company name or the common company name data, TCS. Now let's try to put it the other way. What is not common between the employees? Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh, their own name is different, which is not common. It could be Deepak Joshi, Dilip Patil, Rajesh Pujari. So these three employees have different names, the different individual names, but they have the same company name because they are working for the same company. And what static will do is, whatever same data of these three objects, that is going to be qualified by static keyword. Their name, individual names cannot be static because it is different. Alright, okay, so static stands for common data. Now we'll try to run this code and it will become more clear for you. I have here three objects and static. So we'll just try to run this class and see what is the output. See, this is the first output line, system.println Deepak.company name. What is the value? TCS. System.println Dilip.company name, TCS. System.println Rajesh.company name, TCS. That is, all the objects have the same data. See, the data is set at the class level here. Nowhere we have set it Deepak.company name is Wipro. Nowhere it was set. Okay, so though it was not set for a particular object, it was set at the company level. Even then it has come for all the objects because it is qualified by static. Alright, now what I'll do is I'll put it in other scenario. That is, I'm going to set it through an object. Set the company name through an object. So Deepak.company name is equal to Wipro. Now we'll try to run it and see what the output is. You just have to guess what the output is going to be. Alright, so I'm just going to run that. What I've done is I've set company name of Deepak as Wipro, and I'm printing company name of all the employees Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh. Alright, so initially it was TCS. Let's see what the output is going to be now. Oh, all three employees are now working for Wipro. If you see the code, I have just set company name of Deepak as Wipro. So how come Dilip's company name is also coming Wipro? Rajesh company name is also coming Wipro. It is coming because of this static qualifier. Guys, you must be guessing. I mean, what is the relation of static and this object company name? As we discussed here, static means common data. That is, whenever you say static, this company name will be same for all the employees. Initially it was set to TCS, hence the output was coming TCS. Now you have changed it to Wipro. So whenever you change through any object, the same data, that is this Wipro, same data Wipro will be reflected for Deepak, Dilip and Rajesh because of the static keyword, and hence you are getting this output Wipro for all. I'll explain it to you in a much better way. I'll just remove this static keyword. So now company name is defined at the class level as a string variable with TCS value. Later on it is changed here in the main method. Actually the company name of Deepak is changed to Wipro, and we are trying to print company name for all the employees. Alright, now it is not static. So that means this value TCS will not be there for all the objects because it is changed here. So we'll just try to figure out what is going to be the output. So guys, just guess the output now. I'm going to run this. Now if you see, it is not Wipro, Wipro. It is not TCS, TCS, TCS. It is Wipro, TCS and TCS. That is, this is the first output line. Deepak.company name is what? Wipro, because it is set as Wipro. Whereas Dilip.company name is TCS. Rajesh.company name is TCS because it is set as TCS. That is because it is not static. It is not getting reflected for all the employees. Now once again I'll make it static. Now it will be clearer for you. What will be the output? Wipro, 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 because it is set here. So even though variable is static, it doesn't mean that you cannot change the value. You can definitely change the value. It is getting changed here. Yeah. When you say values cannot be changed, it doesn't mean static. It means it is a constant. In Java, for constant, there is the keyword final, not static. This is a very common interview question. What is the difference between final and static? So static can change the value. You can change the value of static variables, but final you cannot change. Once you declare a variable as final, it is constant. Alright, so this is the basic definition of static keyword. It says common data for all the objects as represented here, and the output will be common here. Alright, so this is the one concept, and very important concept, a very basic concept which everybody has to understand. I have conducted training for more than 500 students so far, and 99% of the students had no clarity about the static keyword. Some used to say static means constant, you cannot change that, and some used to say static means static compile time, dynamic compile time. It's not really that. Static keyword, as we have said here, it represents common data. There is no other definition for static keyword. Alright, so I hope guys this is clearer for you, and this one concept of static I have explained to you in details. On similar basis, we'll be learning each and every concept of core Java in details. What are going to be the different topics of core Java? It is mentioned here. OOPS concepts, all abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, packages. What do you mean by classes, objects, data, statements, exception handling, simple collection classes, Java database connectivity. Alright, everything will be explained to you detail and in a similar fashion. That is, we'll be going to have notes in a pictorial format, or maybe a PPT, or maybe a Word file. Once this diagrammatic presentation is explained to you, then we will go ahead with the coding. Okay, code also will write, will compile that code, will run that code, and will also do lot of changes, or R&D as it is called commonly, with the code. Now what this will do is a combination of notes, combination of coding and R&D on it. It will make the concept very clear to you. So even if it is say or night time 3 o'clock and somebody asks you this question, it will be immediately at the tip of your tongue, because you have done the practice, you have done a lot of R&D. There is no need to memorize anything. Guys, you have to come out of the college mindset of memorizing and giving exams. When you go for interview, the questions are going to be instantaneous questions. I mean, you cannot have a recited answer for that. Alright, so this pattern of pictorial diagrams explanation to you combined with the code and a lot of R&D on that, okay, will prepare you for the interviews. Obviously we are going to have mock interviews also, as we have discussed. Alright, so that's going to be our core Java JSP servlets. The detailed course content will be emailed to you. I'm just highlighting it for you. It's going to be JSP, then Tomcat server. When we start training our JSP servlets, these are basically server-side Java components and they require a server. So we are going to use Tomcat server. We'll be learning in details about this also. Eclipse IDE, I have already shown to you Eclipse IDE. Okay. Now we are also going to cover in this course Spring and Hibernate, as I mentioned here. Okay. So Hibernate course content, I'll just show you what the course content looks like. Hibernate course content. OR mapping fundamental, that object relationship. Guys, we will be learning it in details. Okay, Java ORM, Pojo, DAOs, setting up of Hibernate, Hibernate associations, HQL, criteria query, all these things we'll be learning in details, and we'll be doing the coding also. I have a live project here for Godrej properties, so I'll just open this project. This project is based on Java, JSP servlets and your Hibernate framework. If you can see here, there is a package here by the name com.godrej.servlets. There are a lot of servlets here. Okay, servlet coding I'll just show you. Say for example, this is a user search servlet. Alright, so this will be how your servlet is going to look like. This is a real live project. Okay, for as I mentioned for Godrej property. So whatever code is there, it is for their business application. What I wanted to show you is the Hibernate code. You know, if you can see this package com.persistent classes, it does all the pojos here or your Java beans. I'll just open one bean, say user details. If you see here, these packages, Java X persistence table, these are all Hibernate packages. Okay, and these are annotations. We'll be learning what annotations are. Don't worry guys, it's going to be very simple once we start training. These are basically your variables, annotated variables, and you have the public getters and setters. Guys, if you have learned something called as encapsulation, this is the best example of encapsulation. And then you have a Hibernate configuration file here, which is going to show a lot of database configuration. Hibernate basically replaces your JDBC. Yeah, so in real life projects nowadays JDBC is very rarely used. So Hibernate is very popular because it gives you a lot of ready-made code and a lot of a good performance management from the aspect of fine-tuning your application on speed basis. So Hibernate is what we are going to use it, and Spring is also very popular. So that's going to replace your servlets. JSPs will be there, but those will be Spring enabled JSP. So you will have Spring with Hibernate combined together. These are the most popular in IT industry. If you have good exposure hands-on on this, you can crack any interview, and also you can demand more salary if you have Spring and Hibernate knowledge. So just having Java JSP servlets is not enough nowadays. It's very old-fashioned now. You must have the frameworks, that is Hibernate and Spring. Alright. Now, as I said, in the beginning that after the training we are going to do one live project. So I'll just show you one live project. As I mentioned to you, it's we are doing some application for Godrej properties. So you can see here in the URL we are running a JSP, index JSP. It is basically for Godrej, and it's representing a login thing. So whatever email ID you input there, and it will take you through login. We are using a database here, MySQL. This is the database of MySQL. These are all the login details. Email IDs, OTP, and status and what is the role. So whatever the email IDs are present here, you can use it for logging in. Once you log in, then the application opens up. I have opened it up. Here it is for the Godrej properties. I'll just click on this. Godrej is a big company into properties in Mumbai, and they have a lot of projects ongoing. So the projects are named by the building or the tower names. Atlantis, Seven Waterfall, Casas List. These are all your towers that Godrej is building in Mumbai. So if you click on any tower, you'll get the details of that tower. I've just click on say Lodha Splendora. If you observe the URL here, it is a JSP URL and sending some data. It's basically calling a servlet in the background. If you see the action here that is happening, it is calling a servlet. Servlet in turn will call your Hibernate classes, and that Hibernate will fetch all the data and display it here. See, all the data is come here. I click on say tower structure. Yeah, see, all the data has come. What is the building name and date of completion, what kind of flats are that, 1/2 BHK, 1 BHK, 2 BHK. All this data is coming from the database MySQL, and that is through your Hibernate code. And you have JSP servlets here. So combination of core Java, JSP servlets, Hibernate is here. This project is still under development, so a lot of work is remaining to be done. By December we expect it to go live. Yeah, so when you start training and when you start project, I'll explain to you how it is done in companies at the company level. What are different servers, what do you mean by production, development environment, test environment, what is go live, and what are different versions, patches, batches of your software code. So all those things will be explaining in details. Alright, so that's going to be a live project. You will get hands-on, you will be given a module and you can work on that, so that will give you a lot of confidence. Now finally we'll come to my background, so that will help you, to understand how we are going to training. My qualifications, I have done B from SPC, Sardar Patel College of Engineering, Mumbai. That's in Andheri. And then after B, I have done MTech from IIT Mumbai. That's IIT Powai actually, as it is called. And since 1998, I am into IT field. I have worked with these companies. My first company was TCS. Then this was Capgemini. Through Capgemini, I got a chance to go to US, and there I worked with these two companies, S1 Corporation and American Management Systems. Both were on the East Coast. The idea of sharing the background is that you can make or you can utilize my experience, whatever experience I have worked with these multinational companies abroad as well as in India. Okay, now if you have a trainer who is just teaching you the course on the board, is giving you the notes, is giving you the certificate, and he has no experience, and then you have a trainer who is very well experienced, what that will do is there is going to be a lot of difference. From a trainer who has no experience will learn the syntax, but when it actually comes to developing an application, you will fail. When it comes to actually facing the interview questions, you will fail. So this is where you can utilize my full experience, my whatever experience I have, okay, and that I'll be sharing with you. Any doubts, I will be sharing my WhatsApp number, my email ID to you. You can contact me anytime. Alright, so this is all about the demo class, guys. See you soon joining the training program. Thank you very much. Bye bye.